The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Well, guess what? We back! We are back!
You can't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Sorry, Kurt's got a radioactive mic over here on the set. So, welcome back to Hanging with the Boys. You're looking live. We think we're in a different spot. We're in the studio. We think you're looking live at Tostitos. There you are, Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center here at the Star Frisco. And there's one person on the field, and I can promise you they're drenched in sweat because it feels like it's 101 degrees outside. It's supposed to be 100. Low tonight is 78. And the most important thing is, in this studio, what do you think it is? 70 degrees in here?
Yeah, it's cool in here. It's
It
nice.
feels good.
Yeah.
We're in a different place.
Yes.
Different group, same old group.
Yeah.
We got the band back together for this season.
Act together.
Fellas, it warms my heart and my cheeks when I smile because I'm looking at y'all. It is great to be back. Thank y'all for letting me come back. I know we had a little disagreement in the middle of last season, and like every great rock band that's ever been around, sometimes you just got to go take a little time for yourself and do your solo thing. And we had to work out the contracts and make sure that y'all were cool with me getting paid $20 a show instead of y'all's 10. But guess what? We got it figured out, and I am ecstatic to be back on the show with y'all. Thank y'all for letting me do that.
Hey, man, I'm glad you're back.
I love you guys. I miss you
Why
guys.
did you have to warm up saying your heart and your cheeks?
These cheeks are above the table, not the ones below the table.
We know about them.
You needed the $20 a show so that you could pay back for the surgery that you were healing from.
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
That might be an ongoing segment this year. Why did Shannon take a year off?
Wow.
Maybe. We'll see.
Welcome back, brother.
Thanks,
Welcome
man. It's
back.
good to be back. It's good to be
To the
back.
same old show we used to talk about. Welcome back, Carter. You never see that.
Welcome
yeah, I
back.
saw
Welcome back.
You never see
That's for
that.
the old guys.
Wow.
on,
Okay.
I represent a different generation. Sorry.
So any movie that say welcome back or bring back the boys or any movie?
TV went off in your time. Like, TV literally went off
Yeah.
in your time.
Yeah.
I just went to the blurry and we had to watch through the blurriness of it.
I spent many a night watching blurry TV whenever I was about 15, 16, 17. You could hear the audio, but you couldn't always see the video.
So you mean streaming is that big now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't even have cable.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
I think everybody streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They trying to figure this dude out, man.
Just so y'all know what's going on. So we're in the big studio today because normally we're in the podcast studio. We're not in the podcast studio because they are redoing the podcast studio. We're going to have a new home this year, and it's nice. Kurt and I walked through there on the way here. It looks really nice. It's not completed, but it will be completed by the time training camp is done. And so we're in the big studio today, so we're trying to figure out all the audio. And,
Yes.
we
So
don't know
bear
where to
with us,
look.
man. Bear
Training
with
camp
us.
for us too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't know where to look. We don't know what we're hearing. We don't know who's talking. We don't know what's going on. So just bear with. And plus, the four misfits are back together, so there's going to be chaos anyway, much less all this other stuff going on. So anyway,
Warms my cheeks.
it warms my cheeks. I'll just leave it out there like that. You can interpret that any way you want. Nate, stop, man. This first.
Brought to you by Wingstop. The flavor gets his wings.
We didn't get 5 minutes into the show, and you're already trying to get us in the principal's office, man. Jeez. Yeah.
Wow.
Wingstop, where the flavor gets its wings and warms your cheeks.
Warms your cheeks.
There you go.
It's a good
All right.
promo. That'll be their new campaign.
All right. We'll get into some personal stuff later. Let's get into training camp. Nate, when are you leaving?
I'll be leaving Saturday. I'll get there Sunday morning or Sunday evening.
Okay, so this is our only show with you in person
Yes.
until camp's over, and then
Yes.
you'll be back.
And we'll be back. We'll be back, 5 days a week with you?
5 days a week. I think it's going to be 1 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. We'll be here, same bat channel as normal.
It'll be 1 o'clock?
Monday through Friday.
You sure?
Every other day, right?
No, during camp.
During
During
camp.
It's every other day.
Every other
Yeah.
day.
During the season, every day.
There'll be a
Yeah.
portion of this during during training camp. I'm going to pop my head into training camp in Oxnard. I'm going to come right back.
Are you? You're going out?
Yeah, I'm not riding with Nate, though.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
You're not.
Left on the porch
He's not.
again. Not even gonna get your hopes
not.
up.
Not even, trust me, I've built up enough points, I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly.
Are you gonna stay with Nate though while you're out?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
That'd be a fun show.
Dang.
That'd be a great show, live from the living
I don't
room.
want to stay with
Yeah.
you, Jess.
That's in.
I have to wind up paying for everything. You know Jess ain't gonna buy nothing.
I'm going to get it for free. I'm going to get it for free.
Yeah, he ain't gonna buy nothing.
So why'd you ask if I'm sure it's gonna be 1 o'clock? Is it?
Oh, it's 1 o'clock every other day is what you're saying while we're in training camp.
Yeah, but-
I thought you was like, wow, you know the schedule already that when.
Oh, when we get back?
Yeah, I'm
no,
like,
no,
Shannon on top of this, bro.
no. I mean, when were y'all last year? 1?
11.
11. Or before lunch. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll
sure
let
what
you
it
know
is this
after camp when
Yeah.
we're coming back. Anyway, training camp. So, a lot to talk about. Let's go down the line. Start with you, Jesse. One storyline, and then we can go back and get into each one. One storyline, the biggest storyline. We got 1 day of practice already. We already got stuff to talk about from yesterday, injuries, things like that. 1 day under camp, but let's just act like. I would say before that, but no, we need to talk about it. One storyline from here going forward in camp that you're interested in.
I'll save the big boy for you because,
We know what he's gonna say.
yeah, I know what you're going to say. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for you.
Just let me reiterate it. Go ahead on.
No. I got you. I'm going to save the big boy for you. I think one storyline that I'm looking at is Mike McCarthy, my boy, Freaky Mike.
Calling
Freaky
plays.
Mike is calling the plays. I've been asking and begging and pleading. January 8th, 4 years ago, when that plane landed on that field right outside of our studio, Mike McCarthy came. We all thought at that point in time that Mike McCarthy was going to be the one calling the plays. Oh, but the Joneses had a different thought in that, and they allowed Clellan Moore to call the plays for a couple of years, and then they finally said, all right, pizza boy, get up out of here.
Pizza boy.
That's my fault. My bad. I'm sorry.
Good
I'm
bad.
working on
Good
this.
bad.
I'm working on this. But Kellen, they got tired of you and your antics and your Jason Garrett ways and your Scott Linehan ways and your Simply Pack to finally get my boy, Freaky Mike.
You know
This
what's
is it.
gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. They're gonna go on a run. They're gonna win a couple playoff games. They're gonna make it to the championship game or the Super Bowl, and Jesse's gonna claim victory and go, "I told you. I told you. I asked from the time he got here. If you just call plays, that's the only reason why."
Before they signed Mike McCarthy, let's not forget who was the one person on this show who was calling for Mike McCarthy
You
to
were.
be the coach.
That was your guy.
I wasn't
That's
calling
what-
for him to be the coach, but once he got here, I was on that train calling the plays.
So now that's my storyline, and you've heard a lot about it through OTAs, and you hear it through training camp. Guys are saying we kind of they call it the Texas coast, right? Mike
Right.
McCarthy
Texas
comes from
coast
the West
offense.
Coast.
Yep.
He's now running the Texas Coast offense, and guys are hearing all your starters, your quarterback, receivers, your running back are saying we now understand where we're supposed to be, why we're supposed to be there, when to get there, how the reads are being looked at from the quarterback perspective, which is insane to me that they're just now learning that. In an offense, when it comes to installing, but nonetheless, it's happening now, and you see the players are more receptive to it. So for me, it's my boy Freaky Mike.
All right, I got a follow-up question. Once we go down the row, I want to go back because
Okay.
you said something that I have a football people that have been on the field before perspective I want from y'all about Mike calling plays. All right, Kurt, storyline.
Well, I was kind of going to go down that same route offensively, or what Nate's probably going to bring up. So I guess defensively, I'm excited to see what this secondary can do.
Okay, good. You almost stole mine.
Yes, Kurt, that is so sweet.
And,
yes.
you know, you've got now Diggs with the monster contract. Is he going to have any pressure to live up to that? You got Gilmore stepping in. Is he going to bring that same kind of Pro Bowl play that he's had in the past? Excited about that. Probably got the best safety group in the NFL if you're healthy. Now, first day, you're already down a man. So, yeah, 2 guys potentially here. So it's an exciting group. This defense should be the best, or one of the best, if not the best, in the league. So, and a lot of that's going to be seeing what can Dan Quinn do using that secondary, using a steady pass rush, and what's going to happen with that. So I'll go that route. I'll take the defensive side.
All right.
Quick injury update. Mike McCarthy said earlier in his press conference, Izumir Mukuamu and Donovan Wilson have suffered weeks injury. He said they'll probably get back to at some point in time and doing training camp. They're going to slow play this thing, but it's multiple weeks that they'll be out with their injuries.
That's the one thing in camp you just want. Get through camp without any major injuries.
But that could be 2 weeks, could be 3. I don't know, but he said weeks.
But see, that is what I tell people. If you're not careful, those 6 weeks off is not always positive for every player. And I'm not saying these injuries was caused because the 6 weeks off. When you have that long period of time, especially with players that's been in 4 or more years, you kind of can, expect somebody going to come back with a calf or a soft tissue or something like that. But my main thing, fellas, is
Can we guess?
You better. This team will go into the second round if this happened and win in the second round. If we have an offensive line that is played together consistently, and we have a quarterback that understands that the ball is everything. If that thing happened though with the offensive line, we gonna win in the second round of the playoffs.
So what's your
if our
storyline?
offensive line is in shambles, it's over. Y'all can cancel that.
So what's your storyline?
My storyline is offensive line.
Don't bury the monster lead. We literally lobbed it up. Please, Slim, don't.
Yeah. Do you think he's playing Nate and just
No, I'm serious. The offensive line is what I'm.
But what about the
that's
offensive line?
storyline.
Who on the offensive line?
who do you?
Tyler Smith, the Tyler boys, the Smith boys, Tyler Smith.
So the whole offensive
Tyron
line
Smith.
is your-
Yes. My
But there's
man,
one
Zach
thing-
Martin got to come back to.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
All
There we
right,
go.
God, we
Yeah.
finally got it out.
I mean, you know what? Forget this dude over here. Forget this dude. I love him, but forget this dude. Y'all know who the starting five is, and the other dudes are just guys. Josh Ball is just a guy.
Right.
They got.
But one of your starting five isn't even there.
He'll be there.
You think he'll be
Man,
there?
I see Jared right now done sold one of his oil wells. Hey, Zach, Juke, there it is. He just want to make sure this is like right before camp, we got Diggs. Boom, that's Cowboys to take over the situation. And that's what Jerry gonna do. Like, okay, training camp lag and ain't nothing going on. We drafted a big D greasy lineman. You know, that ain't nobody want to talk about no Mozzie. Hey, boom, we got Zach Martin signed.
All right.
You know
So you're not worried
right.
about him
So
being in
you're right.
camp.
Oh no, I'm not worried about Zach.
So
No,
he's
sir.
so not worried about it. That's not even on his storyline. The storyline is the
not
whole.
Zach. Not Zach. I'm worried about whether Tyron Smith can stay healthy. And I'm worried about more if Steele's now he's
healthy.
not being put on pup, so he's gonna be able to practice with the team. But how much? That's what I'm worried about. If Zach say I'm ready to go, believe me, lock it down, baby. He ready to go.
All right. Mine.
Ain't no storyline. Y'all know what the deal is. It's a fat thing. I mean, a hungry thing. Something. Is that me on? God,
That is you.
I'm a little dark, man. I better wear a lighter shirt. Yeah, that ain't working too well. But anyway, go ahead on.
Just put you
What's
in a
your
different seat
storyline?
next show. Put you in this seat.
Yeah, we're gonna
You're gonna be here for a month anyway, so we'll be back in the studio when you get back. I think there's three interesting things. One, I think receivers really interesting, because you've got CD and then you've got what, right? You got Gallup, you got
Brandon Cooks.
and we think Cooks is gonna be able to take the top off, and you hope that and then what? You need to find what, 2, maybe 3 more guys, a special teams guy in there. Like, what's that starting? I'm interested to see, is Gallup going to be back to old Gallup?
Yes,
right?
he is.
And what exactly is Cooks on this?
You think so, huh?
Everything.
He's starting already. Y'all.
Everything.
He is starting.
You know he is.
Everything.
You know what he's going to do?
Cook can run everything.
He's going to do this to this show. He's going to blow the show up, and then he's going to leave for a month. And we have to deal with him over the phone if we even let him come back on the show for a month.
But then he goes out there and he gets on other shows and he's like, actually says things that are like, well, by the way.
Here's the storyline. Zach Martin
So,
has
yeah,
this
he
much
gives
under
you
the
that.
cap and this much money and this much wiggle room. Here he comes.
Worry about what? 18-0. We're going to the championship. Book your
You know
plane
what,
tickets.
man? I'm not going to take this abuse. Jesse, Shannon, Kurt, Brandon Cooks can run all the routes. I'm not saying he's a great router, but he can run all the routes. He's been associated with speed, but he can do it all.
Yep.
Michael Gallup, I wish he wouldn't have played last year no more than maybe 4 games at the end of the season so he could just get the speed of the game back. Gallup is back. Gallup, it takes a year. Gallup is back. CeeDee Lamb understands his role now. He is the man. So he's worked on his deal. So they ready, man. Now all we don't have to worry about is how fast Jake Ferguson can get ready to be the starter at tight end, and then we got the other kid that's behind him. We are set at wide receiver.
Okay.
Now
All
Jalen Tolbert is Jalen Tolbert.
That's not even my storyline, and you're gonna turn this into a whole segment. So can I please have my 2 cents? I know I ain't been here in a while, but at least let me get to my point.
I'm sorry.
Those are all good points, though. Thank you, Nate, for adding some color to that. I think receiver's interesting. I think running back's real interesting because I personally don't know why you didn't go get Dalvin Cook. Something's going on. Like I don't know what's going on.
Money's going on.
You can't afford Dalvin Cook.
You can afford anything. You can restructure. They've proven this over and
Here's
over
the thing,
again.
and I'm starting to jump on your time. Your
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You owe in a saturated, watered down running back market. You're giving Tony Pollard $10.1 million guaranteed.
Now,
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
as of what?
He's been signed.
He's been signed.
He's been
Yeah,
signed.
he's been signed,
So
yeah.
anything that you bring in for Dalvin Cook is going to get at least $3 to $6 million. So now you're talking about with all the
But if
back
you would
that
have
you have
said
in there.
that 2-3 years ago that
Last
he was
year.
going to get
Right.
only $3 to $6 million, I'd have told you you're nuts.
So let's say top end. Let's say Dalvin Cook gets anywhere between $5 to $6 million per.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're now talking about a $16 million backfield. And now I have to split carries between a guy who I'm guaranteeing $10 million to. Right now, Tony Pollard, with the way that things have gone out, Tony Pollard in the National Football League is the 5th highest paid running back in all of football. So we've allocated, when I say we, not my money, the Joneses have allocated the 5th highest paid running back money to a guy in Tony Pollard. If you bring in Dalvin Cook, who is as good, if not better in some areas than Tony Pollard, you're now saying we got to now take $16 million and split it. The business part of football at times takes over than the athletic side of football. And I think this is one of those deals where they looked at it and go, if we were going to do that, we should have just kept 21 and paid all that money to him, or try to give him a smaller deal and just made him the B and made Tony Pollard the A.
But didn't our coach say we're going to run the ball? What better way to run the ball than go get
He's
one of the
gonna run
best
the
guys
ball.
out there on the free market to make sure? I just have a problem with. Here's the problem. This isn't even my storyline. Y'all keep bogging me down. The problem I have with that is you have a guy that had a broken leg
And some ligament
going into
damage.
camp, and then you got a bunch of guys that couldn't crack the starting lineup, and a rookie that we hope winds up being. Which, by the way, great story with Deuce. Stories don't get any better than
Fantastic
that.
story.
That's a
Yeah.
Disney movie.
Fantastic story.
Disney
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
That's
when they're trying to
I get
be
it,
Disney.
Jesse. I get it. The
There's
money.
there's
I
a bunch
get
of
it.
DMPs in his future. He doesn't even know it yet, but there's a bunch of DMPs in his future.
DMPs.
Did not play.
DMPs. I thought they said DMPs.
No,
I was like,
DMPs.
enlighten me in the break, because I'm sure it means something we can't talk about.
DNP.
But that's my only thing.
That's S&M.
Is okay. All right, my real storyline. All right,
your real
my
story.
real storyline is weak side linebacker. I think this team has the potential. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it before training camp even gets underway. Is Micah still considered a linebacker?
Nope.
Nope. Defensive
He's
man all over.
call him one, but
Defensive
But
man all over.
he's called a
rush.
linebacker,
Yeah.
right? He would be considered part of the linebacker core, right? I think this linebacking core has potential to be the best or top 3 linebacking core in the league, if they stay healthy.
but you're
Micah-
counting Micah.
You call
Yeah.
him
Well,
out.
Micah's in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
Micah.
yeah.
But I mean, I know they were really big on Damone Clark. Jabril was starting to really shine.
Yeah. Then he got hurt.
And then he got hurt. Leighton, we know the health issues Leighton's had if he can stay healthy. And then you mix these new guys in there. Like, I think that could be a real big strength to this if they stay healthy. Kind of like the offensive line. If you need a pen.
Interesting.
If they stay healthy.
Bruh.
I
That's
think that
just
might be.
Bruh.
I think that might be one of our biggest question marks. this
Bruh,
linebacker.
no, it ain't. No, it
Huh?
ain't. Because this hooks you right into Mozzie. If this dude does what he does, our number 1 pick does, he got a legit, his stuff is legit.
Keeps him off the
'Cause
second level?
You talking about guys who's averaging last year coming from 3 yards, trying to come downhill to a guy that's pushing back a yard and a half, giving them 2 yards coming downhill. You're looking at a whole different Shannon, maybe got something to you.
We'll revisit all this about halfway through the season. We need to make cliff notes of this and go back. Hey, here's your storyline. How did that pan out? How did it just pan out?
I reckon I'm paying mine out.
I know where this will go. This will go right in that bag. I know exactly where this will go.
In a heartbeat.
All right.
To be like that.
Jesse, let's take a break. I want to get back into Coach McCarthy calling the plays, right?
That dude stole my.
That was yours?
I'd say that first. Never mind. I'm not going to get
Okay, when we come back, you can chime in because I want everybody
We're
to
going to have a beer and we'll talk about this off air.
All right. We'll talk about this off air.
Yes, sir.
And then when we come
Yes,
back, we're going to see if I still remember how to do live reads on the show or not. So this has been the first segment of the new old Hanging with the Boys. Great to be back.
Welcome back.
Great to see y'all. The People Show has returned right after, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
We are back, the first of many Hanging with the Boys to come, and we are sponsored by Wingstop. Every day, all day, sometimes twice a day, where flavor gets its wings, Wingstop. And this particular segment, this second segment, is brought to you by blockchain.com. It is brought to you by blockchain.com. No, I did not remember how to read. Right. There we go. Maybe I'll just give maybe you can.
Shaking off the rust.
Shaking off the rust, baby. This is our pregame to the pregame.
This is your training camp, brother. You got the captain seat. You got to get the rust off.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah, this promise you won't throw no more interceptions.
All right.
Yeah.
I cannot promise that, but I'll do my best to protect the rock. All right, Jesse, back to your point. Coach McCarthy is now calling plays, right? You've been wanting it from the beginning. Nate seems to be real happy. He hasn't done it for a while, long while. Was out of the league for a few years. Hasn't done it since he's been here. Speaking of shaking the rust off, is there a period? Is it going to take him a while to get back into a rhythm, or is that something that's just like, no, this is second nature and it's super simple?
No, it's a rhythm. That's the biggest thing about the misnomer about play calling offensively or defensively. Mm-hmm. It's rhythmic. It's sometimes you coming in there and you hit, and there's this thing, right? People always say the first 15, the first 20 plays, the call sheet, right? And people think that, and I'm not laughing at that fan, but people think that coach goes, Play 1, we're going to call play 1. Play 2, we're going to call play 2. No, that doesn't happen. Now, there is an opening script. He looks at that script and he goes, okay, these plays can also branch off to other plays. They're from a tree of plays, right? So I can go, okay, all right, this first play, all right, I see what I like here, but there's other plays in this thing too. And I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4.
What's that script usually? First series?
First 15 plays.
First 15 plays. So
right, but I can go, you know what? 15 looks better than, even though it's the second play of the game, I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for Coach McCarthy, it's getting in there, seeing his talent, seeing what the quarterback likes, seeing who your opponent is, and then now how this thing works out. It's all about feeling the game, getting inside the game, and then getting your mojo back. Like you were struggling to read those reads coming back. It'll take you a little while. The same thing for Mike McCarthy. That's why you saw him a lot more active in OTAs and minicamp. You're going to see him a ton of active, especially in these preseason games that we have in the upcoming weeks. But once you get into the season, it's kind of him taking a deep breath and saying, all right, this is like riding a bike. Let me get on this thing and get these pedals going, and I'll be fine. I think he'll be fine, but it's going to take a little time to get the swing of things.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because the way you're describing it is he can't really find that rhythm till he's in the thick of it calling games. Obviously, the players are learning plays right now in training camp. Can he learn? Can he build that?
Yeah, that's the relationship, right? That is when you always see quarterback and head coach or quarterback and OC, they have that relationship to be able to say, what are you feeling? Because your quarterback is the point guard. And the point guard and the quarterback are usually the coaches on the field. So I want our wave path to be on the same thing, that before you call a play, I'm already thinking about it. It's 2nd and 7. What you got, coach? I was thinking the same thing. The quarterback says to himself, now we're lined up. And so for him, it's just getting with Dak Prescott, putting in that extra time and just saying, what do you like? What are our strengths? What are we good at? What are the receivers like? What are they good at? And let's run it from there.
You know what? That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. You mentioned he's going to be working hands-on with Dak now because he's calling plays, right?
Correct.
Right.
Dak can't really – he's supposedly the quarterback guru and genius from, back in the Super Bowl days. Is that going to help Dak?
It is.
Or is he going to get in the way?
It is because, like Jesse said earlier, now they understand. And I would like for you to speak on that. They understand why they are running this route and why I need for you to be precise on this route, because this is what the quarterback's seeing. I would like for you to speak on that, because once Coach McCarthy, if Dak can ever see what Coach McCarthy see, and I know Coach McCarthy's looking to get a feel of what Dak like and can't do, but if Dak can start seeing the game and thinking that way, that's what Aaron Rodgers would never admit, is he thought similar to what Coach McCarthy thought. That's why they had so much success early.
Yeah, and the part of understanding the why, where to be, how to be there. When you talk about being in the new West Coast offense / Texas Coast offense, it's a quick hitting offense, right? So there are times, one of the things that I personally always hated was mirrored routes. When in the old offense of the Jason Garrett and Kellen Moore, they ran these mirrored routes at times, right? And mirrored routes are just basically the same routes on each side, the same route concept on each side. Thing about mirrored routes, if I go right and it's not open, guess where I can't go? I can't go back left because the route has already formed. I chose my option. I went right. They both are doing the same thing. So now when I go back here, it's a scramble play. And the offensive linemen, they're blocking because they're like, well, this ball should be out by now. So I might take a breath. I might relax. But what they have to get to now is, in that offense of concept is, okay, guys, this ball is coming out quick. So I need for you to clear out this space because I got this back coming behind you. Or back, I need you to be here. Or receive, I need you to be here because the ball's coming out right now. So understanding why you're doing what you're doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, and where you're supposed to be doing it at. Having everybody collectively on the same page so that this offense can be more free-flowing and the ball can come out quickly and on time. When guys begin to guess, your quarterback begins to guess. We saw a lot of interceptions last year where Dak was throwing and CD was like, oh, I ain't going there, I'm going here. And now they aren't on the same page. Or a ball's behind them because a guy's not where he's supposed to be, or he's there too late, or he's there too early. Now that leads to tip ball, that leads to a guy's not doing the right thing they're supposed to do. It leads to you being the second leading interception getter in the National Football League. Blame that on the receiver, blame that on the quarterback, whoever you want. It's a Cowboy problem. I think now the way to end that, or to at least lessen that, is to get everyone on the same page, understanding why, when, and where, so that the quarterback and the receivers are always completing passes and not giving it to the other team.
So one thing that I had kind of forgotten about, and I don't know if you all remember, but when he was let go midway through the 2018 season in Green Bay, he was being criticized for being too predictable and not creative enough, that sort of thing. And he had Aaron Rodgers. What makes you believe that's not going to be a problem here?
As much as I like the serial killer Aaron Rodgers, some of that is on him too. When you get that far into your career, like Dak is farther enough now, even though he's running a new offense, you can adjust things. So if you get predictable, that's going to be on the quarterback too, because you're going to see, you're seeing what he's seeing, but if you know something is better and the receivers are lined up with you, you shouldn't. The West Coast never should be predictable. That's just my belief, because a little bit of time I was in the West Coast, these dudes were changing plays like you wouldn't believe, and them safeties changed a lot of it for them. Them routes and everything, you would watch it, but on this one here, it's the same play. Why is he? There's so many options off of this. It should never be predictability.
And I also think at times with I think it's a human nature thing. When you're in a situation for so long, what ends up happening, you become two things. You become a little bit mundane.
Yes.
And if you're winning, you become stubborn.
Right.
If you're winning, and at that time when they begin to have their riff, it came.
You made Sirius say on for some reason.
Okay.
Wow.
Now you just called her on again.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get.
Welcome to the show,
Yeah,
Siri.
but when when you win a Super Bowl and now all of a sudden you kind of feel some kind of way. You kind of like, you know what, I am a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I've had Hall of Fame quarterbacks before. I've been able to produce these things. So the ego part of that thing comes into play, and you go, no, I know what I'm talking about. And the quarterback knows that I know what I'm talking about. Now you two are kind of in this riff about who knows what they're talking about the most, and that's when you begin to butt heads. I think this situation now, if he's, I guess the lie that he did tell us before he's watching all this film that he wasn't watching all this film, but if anything he learned from his garage days is I have to be able to adjust. I have to be able to be multiple in my decision making. I have to be able to evolve with the players and the quarterback around me. And I think now that he's back in that saddle, it's kind of like I learned from my mistakes. I learned from what it was with Aaron Rodgers. I have a really great leader in Dak Prescott. I got a really good team, and now it's my time. So that he's been renewed. The spirit has been renewed for him, and he understands this time around that if this Cowboy team doesn't find a way to get out of the first round or deep into the playoffs, he probably won't have a job. So it's all or nothing for him right now. So I got to get creative. I got to get a little bit of. I got to get freaky. Freaky Mike got to get a little freaky. You know what I'm saying? You got to let the gooch juice loose. Right. You got to go for the gooch. Let the gooch juice loose, Mike.
The gooch juice loose.
Yes, I'm getting a T-shirt that says that. Let the gooch juice loose.
All right.
So even though this offense is maybe a little movement, the Texas coast thing, theoretically, is it easier for Dak?
A lot of times, I think, and Jess can speak on a little deeper from the quarterback receiver, but when you walk up and the alignment is going to tell you, now do you trust your receivers? This year here, I think maybe the first 3 or 4 games, you make it say, we ain't got it together, for its timing. But after that right there, this thing should be clicking. This thing is good. Once again, I've read, and I kind of just blew it off. I've read where Dak took some players on a vacation, and they all supposed to. I done heard that enough.
You tired of bonding?
You run down there 15 yards, and the safety come up, take that seam behind him. If you run 15 yards down there, and that safety back up, cut in front of him. Simple as that. And I'm not trying to be funny. It's just, I'm Jesse.
No. Sometimes we make a complicated game. We make a simple game very complicated.
Yes.
You don't have to be, but
yes,
it's time. Dak, you're going into your 8th year.
Yes.
Yeah, it's time on a lot of different levels, right?
Yeah.
Coaching, quarterback, like the offensive line is not getting any younger. You got 2 studs that, you said Zach, Tyron. Like this team is going to look a lot different one way or the other.
The window is now.
If you don't make it to the second round of the playoffs, or
through the second.
I was going to say, might even have to get through. Yeah.
Yeah, through the second.
This team's going to look on a lot of different levels, different probably.
Absolutely.
You know, what, Nate? I'll start with you. What position are you concerned about?
Everything is locked. Every position is locked. Now, the only thing, and I said, if the offensive line stay healthy, I ain't worried about none of it. Our defense is set. I mean, there's no weaknesses.
How long has it been since we've been able to say that going into a camp?
That's just what I believe.
The defense is set. You're right.
Set.
I mean, usually there's always the last, what?
Maybe like
7, 8?
7 or 8.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 or 8 years.
I'm talking about 07. I'm talking about 2007.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the DeMarcus Ware, Anthony Spencer,
Right.
Brady James,
Yes.
Jason Ratliff, Hatcher,
Yeah.
Ken Hamlin, Terrence Newman.
You've always had 2 or 3 spots that you're
Yeah.
like, there's going to be a battle in camp, and
Yeah.
somebody.
This
You're
thing is
right.
set, man.
You're right.
This thing is set. Now,
What about offensively?
if our guys stay healthy, the 5 guys we talked about earlier,
it's set. But how do you feel about it? Do you
I
feel good?
I feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel good.
All right.
I'm telling you, if our offensive line protects and Dak values that ball with all his heart, we going through that second round. We going through it.
You heard it here, folks.
Yeah. Now we're gonna have a few losses along the way trying to get
17-0 during the regular
No,
season.
we're gonna have a
Through
few
the second
losses.
round.
We're gonna have a few losses trying to get there. So
Y'all remember that when we do our predictions.
Right, yeah.
I want to see what few losses.
you talking
We're gonna bring
about?
this back up. You said there's gonna be a few. You can't go 17-0 again this
You
year.
can't be perfect in preseason.
Yes.
Preseason.
But the one thing that I think we do need to keep a close eye on that's not solidified for me, it is the running back position. There's a lot of no, Nate.
You think so, man?
Yeah.
Do you think Pollard's like your starter?
That
He's
is
your
no.
starter.
He's your starter.
Okay.
But the question is that I think we all have, and it's nothing to do with the injury. What we've always said about Tony Pollard, can he be the guy
If you
to
give him that many
carry,
carries. Yep.
pause, the load throughout the year? Can he be that guy? Can he be the guy that can go in and be your 20, 25 plus carry guy? Can he be the guy that you can put into the
And not
football
just
game?
2 and 3 games at a time, which he's done that, but like the whole season.
Yeah,
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? When we get to that third quarter, that fourth quarter, Nate, you know them yards I'm talking about?
yeah.
Them yards where he's like, hey, listen, everybody in the stadium, everybody in the country, everybody at home watching, knowing we need 3 yards, 2 yards. Can we turn and hand the ball to Tony Pollard for him to get us that? Those tough, ugly yards. When you're in that game when things ain't gotten to go, Dak's not on it and CD's not on it, and it's a muddy. It's one of those, those games you got to get it out the mud. Can we turn around and hand the ball to Tony Pollard 30 times in a game?
And no negative plays like Nate always
You
talks
don't
about.
want to give him.
But this
Rico Dowdle, is he still here?
he's
Yeah, he's there. Malik Davis.
Yep.
That Tony don't need to touch the ball no more than 22 times a game. I don't care how ugly and how tough it gets. 22 times a game. You save him into the playoffs, and then that's when you worry about the back-to-back.
Kurt, can you look up how many carries Tony Pollard has had, the most he's had in one season?
Yeah.
Like, because that's getting ready to double.
No, sir. No, sir.
He had 193 last year.
You give him about.
He's gonna have
you give
400
him
carries this
No,
year.
you give him 200 carries, and you let.
You give him the.
Dowdle
He had
and-
193 last year.
You give him 200.
I'm not paying a guy $10.5 million.
I don't care how much you pay.
For 200
I
touches.
want
The
him
most-
successful per carry,
The most carries he's had in a game is 22.
and that's all he needs.
That was last year at Green Bay.
That's all he needs.
Yeah, but can he? Nate, there's going to come a point in time in the game where I can say he's going to get 22, but I may need him to get a little bit more.
You got Rico.
Can
you
he do
got
22
Ronald
carries?
Jones.
Can he do 22 carries
Who else,
per?
who else we got?
Ronald Jones.
That's the question I'm asking you.
No,
Can he do
no,
22
no.
per?
You are okay. If the league has not shown you anything, Coach McCarthy, besides Dorsey Levens, has never had an elite running back. Even when they drafted guys in the first round, they didn't last. Coach knows what to do with this. He knows how to handle this. We don't need to kill Tony Pollard until the playoff comes. I'm telling you, just let him rock. Let him rock. And then every now and then hit him 25, but let him rock with 22. 22 touches is all he needs.
But that's what I'm saying to you. Can he,
He can do it.
22 a game?
22 a game, because that's what he's averaging. 3 or 4 catches, 12 carries, 15 carries. That's what he's been averaging. Don't let the money, because after this year, he'll be like everybody else. $5 million a year. He'll be just like everybody else, and we won't even be worried about it. Like we went back and forth. I messing with you guys back and forth about Zeke and his money. Mm-hmm. Don't even worry about it, because 4 years from now, a kicker's gonna be making more than these guys. So don't even worry about it. I'm being honest, bro.
Can't believe Zeke's still out on the street with Dalvin Cook.
Because if you're not willing to pay for $3 million, you're gonna stay on the street.
Yeah. Kurt, anything concerning you? Nate's not worried.
We kind of mentioned before, I think the linebackers are concerned. I mean, you got Leighton Vander Esch, and I'm not counting Mike McCarthy. He's a pass rusher. You got Leighton Vander Esch, and who else? I mean, Damone Clark has definitely shown promise. He had a good look last year. So far, Jabril Cox hasn't done too much. After that, it's rookies.
Overshown.
It's the big safety packages.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. They will get Clark and all of those.
We are already in the don't worry about nothing stage.
We're good.
Don't worry about
the
running back. Don't worry about
just a lot of
don't worry about play calling.
The defense.
Don't worry
is
about nothing. Don't worry about offensive line. Don't worry about Zach Martin getting here. Don't worry about diabetes. Don't worry about world hunger. Don't worry about Elon Musk changing Twitter again. Don't worry about.
Quit acting like Nate, Jesse.
Don't worry about if Mitch McConnell took on himself.
You know what? I was worried about
the girl who's been missing, Carly Russell. Did she tell the truth or not? What else we don't worry about?
All of them said defensively. I said don't worry about it.
I don't know.
I said don't worry about it. You're right. Defensively, I don't believe we should be worried.
That doesn't bother you.
Offensively, I got to worry, but it's the same old worry that it's been. So I'm not gonna keep saying offensive line, but defensively, man, we set, man.
Okay.
We set.
So Kurt, you're good. Kurt. Linebackers.
There's just some question marks, some unproven guys at linebacker.
Yeah. And I agree with that. When I said that's my storyline, I think if things work right, things pan out, Mozzie winds up being what they want him to be.
Yeah.
You have a potential to have a great linebacking core. Now, you also have the potential there's a lot of unknowns, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Could be disaster.
I know you
got worried.
Who's going to be a starting tight end?
Great.
Jake
Ferguson.
No worries. No worries.
He's not worried.
Guy got in the second round. They ain't even practicing. His foot still bothering him.
That's his problem.
What are you worried about, Jesse? Are you worried about anything?
The kicker.
Are you good?
I'm good.
You worried about the kicker?
Who is the kicker?
You worried about the kicker?
Doesn't matter.
Should be worried about.
Coming from the.
Should be worried about the kicker.
He was a banker.
He come from the USFL.
He was literally a banker or something like that. I worked on Wall Street.
Yeah,
Like, I think I should go
IT guy.
He put the numbers together. This win factor. He put the numbers together.
You're not worried?
I'm more worried about the kicker than anything else. The offensive line first, then the kicker. Other than that,
I'm not worried.
Set.
You're not worried?
We're good.
That's one that's not true, because with you there's always something wrong. And two, that's not a real response, because it didn't take more than 5 minutes for you to say it.
We're good.
You know what? I'll take advantage of it if he's gonna.
There you go.
He's gonna give us an out.
Bruh.
Mine?
Yeah.
Bruh.
What?
Defensively, I'm not worried.
I think we got that part. I think we're good on that. I think defensively we know you.
I will be quiet, dude. I'll be quiet.
I'm always worried about kicker.
Yeah.
Since Dan Bailey left, I've been worried about kicker.
Hey, Mama Bailey, how are you?
You had that he was always consistent, at least. After that, it's kind of like, you never knew what you were going to get. Kicker, I'm not worried about tight end. I'm interested to see who's going to be in the mix and how they use them, but I think they got a serviceable group of tight ends. I'm not worried about health at offensive line. I think that every year that's
big worry, man.
It seems like somebody gets hurt.
We're good.
Good. Defense, we're good.
We're good.
No.
Zach's good. I saw Zach the other day. He's at the mall.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's the one guy that.
Hey, did that shock? I know we had a little text chain going around. That shocked me, and I get it. It's about money, and hey, every time a player deserves to get paid, they need to get paid, because they're one play away from not ever making money again. Yeah. So I'm always, But that shocked me because I don't see, and I know that it's the agents and the market. It's the agents. Zach did not seem like the kind of guy that would hold out it. Like I thought he would be like, just work on the side, I'm going. That blew me away that he's holding out at camp. Did that shock any of y'all?
The first reaction, ooh, Zach, oh. Then I said, wow, now he finally want to get paid. You know, I would have got mine on the front end, you know. But he was patient.
Yeah.
Now he want to get paid. I ain't got no problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it. Get paid.
Yeah.
Get your money, Zach.
He's probably the one guy you're okay with, but you're okay with him not being at camp. You know, game one he'll be ready, right?
Will he be here for game one?
Well, I guess that's the problem. But.
And here's the thing that I want people to realize, and I learned this yesterday, because you hear now that Zach's being fined $50,000 a day, right?
That he doesn't report. Every day they didn't report.
Because he's technically under contract.
So he's in the hole 100,000 already.
In the new CBA, because we've all come from a place where you say, oh, guy gets fined, get fined. Then when he finally shows up, the fine goes away. Mm-hmm. Well, in the new CBA, it doesn't.
They have to pay it?
They have to pay it. Now, the Cowboys can say, all right, we're going to pay you $1 million over what we actually were going to pay you to pay that fine money back to us, but the fine money doesn't go away. So right now, Zach's looking at almost, if he doesn't report to training camp at all, talking about $1 million that he's going to lose out on with the $50,000 a day.
Where does that money go?
So if your team finds you, it goes back into the bank. It goes back to the team.
Okay.
If the league finds you, it's a pot in the league that you can actually write off as a tax write-off as a charitable contribution. All your play 60s and all the kind of stuff, that those fines from the league goes into all those kind of initiatives that the NFL does all across the board.
So when you slap somebody in the head or you get a uniform violation, that goes into that pot?
You can write that off on your taxes as a charitable contribution.
Really?
Yeah. Now when your team finds you, that money goes back to the Joneses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think how long do you think he's going to hold out? Till they get the contract worked out?
I mean, what's $1 million to him?
Yeah, he'll get that made up on the back.
Instead of making 14, he'll make 13.
I mean, he's not a running back, so not as much as them.
You know, what's $1 million to Zach Martin right now that he stands on principle? And sometimes you got to kind of go out there and let guys see your value and see what Josh Ball looks like at guard, or Let's Go looks at guard and go, you want to pick up the phone now? You want to pick up the phone now? Because at some point in time, it won't be number 10 back there. It won't be the kid from West Virginia back there. It's going to be number 4. And what you don't want from number 4 is his back to be dirty.
Yeah.
And one guy that kept from his back being dirty was me.
And see, all that factors in, you know, and I know Jesse joking me and bothering with me. If Zach don't show up, you've hurt your center and you've hurt your right tackle.
Yeah.
These guys draw energy off of this cat. You know, Biotish and Steele, and then Velasco, is I'm pronouncing it right?
No.
Well, let's
You're
go.
not.
Velasco.
You're not, but
Velasco.
He got it right. Yeah, well, that's
There you go.
Yeah. These guys draw energy off a player like that. And for him not to be there, to anchor that, and you better understand, your center is average. So now the pocket gonna collapse back on Dak. Now he may be able to move over there with the Smith boys, Tyron and Tyler Smith. He may be able to slide over there a little bit, but if they block that off, ain't nothing over here to the right because that pocket is done collapsed. Now you put Steele at a disadvantage. Steele is a play action pass tackle, and what I mean by that is he dominates when he runs and he gets more and more confidence when you let him go forward running. But now if you ask him to back up, where it's going to be some tough game where you got to back up and pass block a lot, now that guy coming around, that corner gets shorter. That's why I say I do have a worry. It's Zach Martin.
To add a little piece to that, you're talking about the quarterback rolling out to the strong side, the left side.
Yes.
He's a right-handed quarterback.
Yes.
So that is a difference for him. So rolling to his left, he's not putting anything on his throw. So everything's going to kind of be rolling to my left, throwing a back across my body or open arm, or now using more arm force. And that's not a guy. He's not like Aaron Rodgers. He's not like Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow, where he has that cannon of an arm and can throw from different platforms. So if he's not able to roll out to his strong side where he can get something behind that throw going to the right, passes over the head, tip balls behind, interception that we don't want at certain points of the game. So
pass tips
we
and
don't
overthrows.
we don't think about that in the interim. But those are little things that Zach Martin brings. When that pocket collapses in the middle because you don't have that anchor in Zach Martin right there, and now he has to move to his left, and things may be a little bit more inaccurate down the football field in his passes.
All right, let's take our last break. When we come back, we're going to let Kurt talk.
No need.
In the final segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the last segment of the first show of the 2023?
Yes, sir.
2023 Dallas Cowboys football season. Let me tell you about sweating. Speaking of gooch juice, come get a free workout during the summer sweat sessions at the Star, powered by Cowboys Fit. Come out for a cardio dance party on Wednesday, August the 2nd, from 6 to 7 p.m. outside on Tostitos Championship Plaza. It's that lovely opening shot that we had of the show this morning. Visit thestardistrict.com/events for more information.
So sweat, right? That's
summer sweat sessions is what they're called.
What date was that? August what?
August the 2nd.
So that's next Wednesday.
Are you looking up the temperature?
From 6 to 7.
From 6 to 7. Now, they're promoting it as sweat sessions, so they want you to.
You're going to sweat. It's going to be 104 degrees.
104 degrees
on turf.
From 6 to 7 p.m.
So 110.
So
bring everything you can drink, all the right
Stay
fluids.
hydrated.
All the right fluids.
The gooch is going to be
the gooch juice will be loose.
Woo.
Out here on Tostitos Championship Plaza.
Sometimes when they got a little day on it, it'll be all right.
You know what? If you're in the shade out there,
what's it called?
I don't know where you're
What's the
going
Mexican
with it.
season that they put on it?
Tahini.
Little tahini on it.
I tell you what,
little tahini,
there's not much better snack.
Have a little day on it.
Take you a bag of saltine crackers, gallon Ziploc bag, dump them in there, and put
trash.
Louisiana.
Put some tahini in there and just shake it up. I'm telling you, it's a great
saltine with tahini.
Yeah. Try it.
When it got a little day and a little tahini on it,
try it.
Be tasty, Kurt.
Oof.
It's not that hot out there. I was out there this weekend with my kid, Gray, by the way. Hi, Gray. Good seeing you.
What's up, nephew?
Gray.
Y'all want to say hi to anybody since we're giving shout-outs? Anybody you want to say hi?
Gray, what's up, baby?
Hey, Gray.
Miss Sosa, what's up?
There you go. I was out there with him this weekend running around the field. That's a cool place to, bring kids or whoever. It wasn't that hot, but it wasn't 104 degrees. So
When was this?
Saturday, I think, or Sunday, maybe Sunday.
In the morning?
No, it was in the afternoon. They were having some kind of lacrosse championship or national lacrosse, high school lacrosse championship in the Star. It's kind of a cool deal. Anyway, sorry, I got way off topic. Kurt.
Yes.
We got about 6-7 minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Well, the big news is Trevon Diggs. Is this,
The contract?
Yeah. Is this? Were you surprised that he jumped to the head of the line? How that worked out? Nope.
Nope.
Just the right thing to do.
Do you think he's paid what, top 5 money now?
Nope. He's not.
He's not.
He's not.
He did a friendly deal.
He's not a top 5.
No.
Corner?
No.
I thought his money was.
I thought he's the 5th highest paid.
That's what I
man.
thought.
Oh, 5th? All right.
Yeah, top 5. That's top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is he a top 5?
Is he a
corner?
top 5 corner? I think he's good. I think he's a really good, solid corner.
He's top 10.
What, this is 4th year, 5th year coming up?
Here's what I'll say. The Cowboys have gotten fleeced in these last couple contracts dating back to Zeke, right? When Zeke set out and they gave him that $90 million deal, and then they p-footed around with the Dak contract, and they could have got him for $27, $28 million, and then they figure out that even after he got hurt, we screwed that one up. Now we got to give him 40, and there's one more that but they got fleeced these last couple of contracts. I think this one they got right. They got it done before the season. So no matter what happens this year, does Trevon Diggs get another 11 interception season? Probably not, right? Because the last time it happened was Cubby, and that was when 1981, over 30, 40 years ago. So Jokers ain't getting 11 interceptions in a season. But if he gets 6, he gets 7, he gets 8, that still puts them on the league leader in interceptions in the season. And if you waited and now I go get me a 7, 8 interception season, now I'm talking about being top 3 corner in the league, and that number changes. I think the Cowboys got this one right for a dude who's only really been playing this position about 4 or 5 years. Remember, when he got to Alabama, Trevon Diggs was a wide receiver. Then it got converted because he said, I got Julio and all the rest of these, and Amari and all the rest of these guys over there. I ain't gonna play no receiver. I need to go play DB. So I think the Cowboys finally got a contract right. They got his deal done, and it'll be able to kind of now to gauge, because CD ain't taking a team-friendly deal. CD's gonna get to that point where he's gonna say, no. I want to be paid like one of the top dogs. Because if I go out here and I'll put another 1,300-yard season up again, I want to be paid like the Jets and Jeffersons and Chases of the world. So they're like, all right, we got this deal done. Now we can kind of see where the money's going to be at the next couple of years. How are we going to pay Micah? How are we going to pay CD? Good job, Cowboys.
Do they work on CD this year? Or?
If they can. If they can't come to something, you let them play it out. And then pay him next year.
Franchise.
Yeah. The only person you need to get is Zach Martin. Yeah, that's who you better get.
You said you wasn't worried about that, bro.
No, I said offensively. Defense, I ain't worried.
I know as soon as he says he's worried about something, you're going to not let him forget this, right?
I ain't worried about defense.
Defense will be good.
I'm glad we have that understanding. I'm glad we know.
I know. I'm glad to see the dynamic has not changed one bit since I left. Because
we'll lose a few, but we will blow through that second round this year.
You heard it here on the first show.
All right.
In July.
The first show. One day into camp. Strong Nate coming
Going
out.
to the Super Bowl.
No.
Oh, NFC Championship.
We going to the NFC Championship.
Okay.
You
want to go ahead and give a prediction? Who are they playing?
What is it, sir?
Who are they playing? You want to go ahead and give that?
I don't know who they're playing.
All right, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're going to play in the AFC, then I won't be feeling that way.
All right. Well, we need to get out of here. Thought we had a few more minutes, but we got a hard out.
Uh-oh.
So.
She said.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, she did this.
Oh, my God. At least we did it at the end of the show. Everybody probably quit listening about segment.
When it happens.
Huh?
It's normally when it happens.
At the end of the show.
At the end of the show.
All right, well,
Whoa.
you know what? This wheel stayed on pretty well
If you
today.
do that at the beginning, there won't be a second show.
That's a good point. That's a good point on a couple of different levels. All right. Well, thanks for. I just got to say thank you for
Yes, sir.
You know, the negotiations during last season, and thank you for.
You actually get paid now.
Thank you for.
I'm the only one not getting paid.
Let me make more than you guys, and working out our differences, and we'll get to that in another show.
I'm about to act like Zach Martin.
We'll talk about that.
I'm about to act like Zach Martin. See y'all.
You know, Derek will be like, oh well.
Yeah. You got no leverage. Sorry.
Appreciate the service. There you go.
We'll find someone else.
There you go. 3-man show. 3-man band again. All right, fellas. I enjoyed it. Thanks for letting me come back. Thank y'all. The People Show is back. Never really went anywhere. I'm just back. So,
YouTube is back.
I'm going to call it. Yeah, we're going back for the #1 spot. I don't even know the rankings.
Still have it.
We still do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to defend that. And
That's a part of my negotiation.
Is it? Mm-hmm. Good deal. So the People Show. Tune in Monday, 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You'll be at camp. You're going to let us know when you're going to camp.
Correct.
So are you going to call in when you're at camp?
Yeah, if y'all guys would, let me.
Absolutely. Every day.
We're good.
We need at least. We're good. We're good. He's going to call in one day. You're going to hear him go, fellas. We're going to know something happened. Fellas, look. I know I was
He's
good.
He's seen that offensive line.
But
I just saw, this is what happened.
I just saw Walaski. I saw Walaski.
Hit Mazie.
I saw Walaski, and I saw the other kid overshow, whatever they mean. We got problems, girl. We got to get some guys in here.
We got to get out of here before Jasmine kills us. Chris, looking forward to reuniting with you when you get back from camp. Jasmine, thanks for keeping us on the air. Brother Will, thanks for keeping everything published. Fellas, good to be back. See y'all on Monday on Hanging with the Boys.
We out.
Peace.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!